Okay. Uh, the third learning outcome from managing a computing project, the indicative contents of the third learning outcome are project evaluation, post-completion report. The project evaluation is the evaluation plan, interpreting data, communicating results, and the report is deliverable assessment, maintenance needs, project impact. And the assessment criteria for this is basically the review a computing project against agreed success criteria, recommend improvements to any future computing project. So evaluation is basically you need to assess that whether you have done your project right or not against the success criteria, and obviously you could improve it. So let us start discussing on the learning outcome 3, the be able to review a computing project. A review is basically the assessment, the evaluation of the project which you made it, and you need to know whether the project is performing well or not. So obviously that should have been carried out according to some strategy, according to certain way. Let us discuss the objective of a software product evaluation plan is to define the organization's evaluation criteria, the methods used to evaluate the software project. So you need to define a criteria, that according to what criteria your project should have been approved. If your project is following certain criteria, it means your project is successful and approved. Otherwise, obviously, if certain criteria are not meeting, then obviously your project cannot be said as successful. So software product evaluation plan is a functional part of software development plan. Obviously, whatever you develop, then you need to check the development, whether the functionally it is correct or not. So that is basically the software product evaluation, and obviously that needs to carried out according to a plan. Evaluation plan, there are 4 main steps to developing an evaluation plan. How? Clarify program objectives and goals. In order to create an evaluation plan, the first step is to know that what are the objectives and goals for which the project was designed. If you know very well the objectives and goals of the project you expected, then and then obviously you will be able to know that whether the project has been implemented correctly or not. If you don't know the objectives and goals for the expected product, then obviously how you will be evaluating. So the one step which is important is clarify the program objectives and goals, develop evaluation questions. So once the goals are in front of you, then you need to further work on the goals, and you need to create a questions that okay, whether the software is working well, whether the individual components have been implemented well, whether the results are accurate, whether it can deal with any unexpected situations. Possibly you can have the lots of questions in front of you, and those questions should really be worked out in order to evaluate your project. So the second thing is that the number of questions should have been already prepared. The third is develop evaluation methods. So if you know the requirement, you know the questions, you should have some method in order to answer the questions. It's not the case that your questions will be answered automatically by looking at the just software or the product. But possibly, if you wanted to know, then your software can handle the, let's say, 100 customers at one time. Then if the claim of the software is handling of 100 customers at one time, then how you will be able to evaluate it? Will you rely on the theory of the software, or maybe possibly you could rely scientifically, but you should have some experimental way, a method to test those particular questions, that particular questions are being answered by applying those methods or not. Then setting up a timeline for evaluation activities. So whatever the evaluation activities are in front of you, you should have some timeline. It cannot be the case that you wanted to evaluate that particular project in all sudden in one go. But possibly the software could be deployed, and software could be deployed and used for, let's say, number of times for particular the duration, and after the duration you will be able to evaluate. And if you don't have a particular timeline, then obviously you will not be justifying with your evaluation. So the four main steps are important, that you should have the identification of the objectives and goals. You should have some questions on those identified goals. You should have some evaluation method, and you should have also some timeline in order to carry out the evaluation of those questions via some methods. So clarifying program objectives and goals. The first step is to clarify objectives and goals for your initiative. What are main things you want to accomplish, and how have you set out those accomplish them? So simply, the objectives to take the initiative, main things to be completed, and how those should be achieved. It comes under the clarifying the objectives and goals. Second, develop evaluation questions. There are four main categories of evaluation questions. Planning and implementation issues. The first thing is planning and implementation issues. How well was the program or initiative planned out, and how well was that plan put into the practice? So the question arises that how the program was planned to work and how it really worked in practice. Then you can really know that whether what percentage of the implementation has been achieved sincerely and voluntarily. So you should know that whatever the expected plan, what was the plan, and what was the expectation, and what did you get. Assess attainment of the objective, how well a program or initiative met its stated objectives. So the first one is planning and implementation issue. How well was the program or initiative planned out, and how well was the plan put into the practice. So you need to know whether the plan was fine, what was the plan, and whether the plan was carried out accordingly or not. The second one is that whether the objectives were, the stated objectives were achieved or not, how well were those, whether those were achieved 100% or maybe 50%, maybe 10%. Then impact on the participants, how much and what kind of difference has the program or initiative made for its targets of change. So after producing that particular project, which impact will be given to the participants and what difference will your program give for your targeted change. In other words, how your product will be different and helpful for your participants. Impact on the community, how much and what kind of a difference has the program or initiative made on the community as a whole. So it's not only the evaluation that you did whatever the plan was made, but it is also important that you should contribute something to the community, and what kind of difference and what kind of different kind of program, the different features you made, you contributed to the community which is called a research. Yeah, so that is important. So questions being developed for the evaluation plan should have been identified. You should be able to know the plan and actual plan implemented, the objectives and the actual objectives achieved, the impact and the difference of the program, then your expected target and what it will affect the overall community. So if you are able to evaluate according to these questions, then you can claim with the confidence about the sustainability or the assessment of your project. Developing evaluation methods. Once you have come up with the questions you want to answer in your evaluation, the next step is to decide which methods will best address those questions. Monitoring and feedback system possibly. So you have to monitor and give a feedback possibly to those questions, how the methods of evaluation has following main elements, process, measures. These tells you about what you did to implement your initiative. The question arises that you need to measure that how you carried out the implementation. If you know well that how did you implement it, then you are going to answer a question of a method. Then outcome measures, this tells you about what the results were. So in order to answer your questions, applying some methods, you would know that what did you implement and what results you are getting is basically the part of the method. The methods will give you the results. Then observational system, this is whatever you do to keep track of an initiative while it's happening. So you need to look at that how it was going through, how it was being tracked and how it was happening. So methods depend on these measures, the process measure, outcome measure, observing measures in order to answer your questions. Goal attainment report, if you want to know whether your proposed community changes were truly accomplished, obviously as I discussed that you need to give a contribution to the community, and we assume you do. Your best bet may be to do a goal attainment report. Have your staff keep track of date each time a community change mentioned in your action plan and takes place. So basically, whatever the thing or project you are implementing, you do it for the betterment of the community. And for the community, if you did well and it really give a contribution, a new development to the community in the research, then it has to be carried out according to the results produced by the uh, evaluation by using methods. So methods will give you the measures of the attainment. Developing evaluation methods further continued. Possibly you can get those evaluation methods using behavioral surveys. Behavioral surveys help you find out what kind of risk behaviors people are taking part in and the level to which they are doing. So behavioral surveys is basically observing your product, observing your results by taking surveys, possibly how people are dealing with your product. So their behavior can be one of method of your evaluation. Interviews with key participants. Key participants will help you by once you will interview, then their community, their people will give you the insights. They will answer your questions and their viewpoints, their critical points, that how did they find it. Well, they would identify any failures of any particular problem, any initiatives. They will give you an insight of the survey, insight of the interview, and the insight views about the product. So normally the evaluation is somehow to be carried out using surveys and questions, and also as well as with the scientific methods. So really depends how do you want to evaluate your software. If you say that you created a software which is easy to use, if the software is easy to use, then probably you can only evaluate that whether it is easy to use or not. You can only let the software being used by different people according to their surveys, and then possibly they can interview that whether the software is really easy to use or not. So that is kind of method that how do you evaluate. Fourth, setting up a timeline for evaluation activities. When does evaluation need to begin? Obviously, as I explained, that some of the evaluations can be done immediately the software is ready to use, and some of them might need to be evaluated after some time. For example, the evaluation can be made on a particular sample size. So right now, or at least at the beginning of the initiative, evaluation isn't something you should wait to think about until after everything else has been done. To get an accurate, clear picture of what your group has been doing and how well you have been doing it, it's important to start paying attention to evaluation from very start. If you are already part of the way into your initiative, however, don't scrape the idea of evaluation along together. Even if you start late, you can still gather information that could prove very useful to you in improving your initiatives. So the evaluation basically is not necessary that you do the evaluation at the end, but you can also evaluate at the beginning. You can look at the initial initiatives and evaluate whether the project development and its immediate results are accurate, fine or not, are they answering your questions well or not. So timeline for your evaluation is important. Interpreting data. Since you are evaluating your project. You are processing some initiatives in order to evaluate whether the your software is working fine or not. Then your evaluation is basically based on what data you are getting from the experiments. Data interpretation is an essential element of mature software project management and empirical software engineering. As far as project management is concerned, data interpretation can support assessment of the current project status and the achievement of project goals and requirements. So really depends whatever the data you have in front of you about the project, about the current status, you need to interpret your evaluation accordingly. As far as empirical studies are concerned, data interpretation can help to draw conclusions from collected data, support decisions, and contribute to better process, product, and quality models. So, empirical studies relying on the continuous experimental data will help you to draw the conclusion from the data. They will help you to take the decisions for better process. Non-empirical evaluation may be based on the beliefs. Let's say you took a conclusion from the beliefs of people, but if you are doing any empirical study which involves the study, then the data is more important and the interpretation of the data will really help you in order to provide a quality-wise quality model and better process and the contribution into the research and its evaluation. With the increasing availability and usage of the data from projects and empirical studies, effective data interpretation is gaining more importance. So, how do you interpret the data of the results is much more important, and you should rely on the usage of the data, and empirical data is really important for you. You can really rely on that particular data because that is empirical one. Essential tasks such as database identification of project risk, drawing of a valid and usable conclusion from individual empirical studies or combination of evidence from multiple studies require sound and effective data interpretation mechanisms. So, any empirical evaluation based on empirical studies and combination of evidence from multiple studies will also help. If you did an experiment, somebody did an experiment on a particular data, and when you wanted to give a comparison between the studies, between the results you achieved and the results somebody else achieved, will really helpful for you for your evaluation. So you need to focus on the comparative studies, the comparison of the evidence with others in the empirical kind of research. If you did a comparison of the non-empirical, let's say beliefs, and possibly the beliefs, non-empirical results and their evaluation may not be that much helpful, but the empirical studies and their comparison can really be helpful in order to produce and to give a real and genuine contribution to the research. Then, communicating results. Usually a project starts off well, the team gets briefed and responsibilities are assigned. However, as the project progresses, team members can lose track of what others are doing. They are rightly focused on their own tasks, but without good communication between, it is easy to lose track of a bigger picture. So, it is most important that whatever the project is being done by the individuals, they should be able to communicate their results, their project, uh, being visible to look at as a big picture of the project in front of managerial or outside the project development team. Possibly the email, Skype, online management tools like Redmine and Basecamp means, or whatever the tools like a TeamViewer may be used in order to communicate the results to your team members. So that we can work successfully with people in different time zones and different continents. So no matter if the development team is spread into different locations, the times and zones are different, but still you should have a communicating way at constant time. However, all of the tools are enablers of communication and do not replace good communication. A successful team is one where there is a natural exchange of conversation. Thus, obvious that if you wanted to communicate, you should naturally exchange the conversation and also use those tools in order to communicate the progress. Otherwise, the big picture will not be clear in front of you. Deliverable assessment. Deliverable assessment is basically the delivery of the project by the software development teams or agents. The system development lifecycle deliverables help state agencies. State agencies like a software development agents successfully plan, execute, and control IT projects by providing a framework to ensure that all aspects of the project are properly and consistently defined, planned, and communicated. So whatever the deliverable is, it is the responsibility of the company that they should consistently, properly define, manage, plan, and communicate the deliverables. Deliverables can be the whole project or it can be the sub part of the project. System development lifecycle templates provide a clear structure of the required content the agencies may utilize and customize. State agencies may use formats other than the templates as long as the deliverables include all required content. The development and distribution of system development lifecycle deliveries could include that ensure common understanding among development team members and stakeholders. So, if you want to focus on the assessment of the delivery, the deliverables within the system development lifecycle, then make sure that understanding of the team and the development team and the stakeholders is very much clear that what has to be happen, what has to be delivered. Serve as a reminder of a specified plan as projects become increasingly complex. So, on what specified plan the project will be carried out is a kind of deliverable. Encourage the execution of repeatable and consistent processes. Facilitate the implementation of project management agency IT best practices. Result in a comprehensive record of project performance useful for many purposes, staff, knowledge transfer, budgetary and other assessment activities, and lessons learned. So The deliverable assessment is based on everything included in the system development cycle being used by the software development agents, related with understanding the plans, the execution of the plans, the facilities, the purposes, whoever is involved, dealing, and everything being delivered, communicated well. Maintenance needs. Software maintenance in software engineering is the modification of a software product after delivery to correct faults, to improve performance or other attributes. A common perception of maintenance is what it merely involves fixing defects. Normally, when you say that you need to maintain, basically, but however, one study indicates that over 80% of maintenance effort is used for non-corrective actions. So over 80% is not basically the correcting the software, but it is the maintenance. You don't need to correct the actions, but you need to maintain the software. The perception is enhanced. The perception is maintained by users submitting problems reports that in reality are functionality enhancements to the system. More recent studies put the bug fixing proportion closer to 21%. So normally you do not face any errors or bugs in the maintenance, but however you basically need the change in the requirements. Your functionality enhancement is required. Sometimes the current implemented methods may not be sufficient. However, they may not be incorrect, but the enhancement into the functionality is required that the maintenance identifies. Project impact. Success of a software project is extremely dependent on the quality of the requirements. If your project has a good quality, then it has the good impact. Requirements are the basis for planning project schedules as well as for designing and testing specifications. Requirement change during the project development process are known as the requirement volatility. Requirements volatility has great impact on the cost, schedule, and quality of final product. So the impact of the project is basically depending on whether it has been made on the cost, schedule, and quality or not. Due to requirements volatility, many projects fail and some are completed partially. Requirements volatility cannot be overcome fully, but we can minimize it with some requirement measure or metrics. Requirement metrics are useful in identifying risk of a project by locating errors in the requirement document. So impact of the project is basically on the cost, schedule, and quality. If you can handle those problems, then the impact will be good, and you need to focus on the quality requirements. The quality requirements has directly impact on the project. So that's about the third one and the last of the project, this unit. So do you have any question at the moment?
No, sir, don't have.
Okay, so I end up this session, and the name of the unit, which is managing a computing project, is completed now, and I would see you next week. Yeah.
All right, sir.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Bye.